cryptid is defined as any creature that may or may not exist. Sasquatch, aliens, Mothman, sea creatures. Although there is evidence of these beings all around us, the existence of them is highly debated. Four friends, each with a unique perspective, set out to explore a region rich in cryptid activity.
We just want to know more. We can't evolve if we don't know.
Chestnut Ridge in Pennsylvania is a mountain range west of central PA. Mostly forested, this stretch of land is home to several communities, farms, and orchards. Uniontown, Derry, and Kecksburg create a triangle within Chestnut Ridge that remains a hotspot for extraterrestrial and cryptid sightings. Locals have reported ape men, small humanoid creatures, and most notably, the Acorn UFO crash of 1965.
My name is Daniel, and I run Tragic Hero Productions and TheMomentImaging. I am somebody who's always been very passionate about the concept of cryptozoology and cryptids. And being an experiencer of some of these beings throughout my life, I can say that I'm very grateful to be here with Lauren and Caroline and Garrett to be in the energy of an area that has such a rich history and first-hand accounts with things like the dogmen and the little pygmy guys and the Sasquatch. And right now I'm standing in Pittsburgh PA, which has one of the most historically impactful UFO crashes I think in American history. And when I found out that there was an area called the Bermuda Triangle of Pennsylvania, my friends and I had to come here and be in the energy of this area. We didn't come out here with our cameras and our audio equipment to catch Bigfoot. We're here to film a documentary. And this documentary is just about people who are very passionate on the paranormal and the esoteric. I feel like life itself is just a journey of self-discovery. And a lot of these more shadowy areas, they remain uninvestigated and undiscovered. And I'm just somebody who is here to experience whatever I can in the moment in these sort of esoteric areas that people just don't know a lot about. Our team's here in Derry, PA, and we felt it was really important to come through this town because of its historical significance in the paranormal. Being part of the Chestnut Ridge, part of the Bermuda Triangle of Pennsylvania, it's a hot spot for certain types of activity. And fun fact, it's also said that Stephen King's It, although set in Derry, Maine, was actually inspired by the small town of Derry, PA. Which I imagine is probably because of the high activity in the paranormal and the esoteric of the Chestnut Ridge.
I'm Caroline, owner of Healing Tides Hypnotherapy, a hypnotherapy practice in Los Angeles, California. And I am here in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania with my buds. And we are at the home of the site of the Kecksburg UFO crash, the Acorn UFO crash from 1965. And we're basically here to explore the unknown and dive into things that we're curious about and that we feel connected to. So we're here to understand this story because we believe that this area has a story to tell. In this area specifically, there's obviously the activity of the Kecksburg UFO crash site, but also the other areas we're going to be visiting in this Pennsylvania triangle, if you will, Pennsylvania Bermuda triangle. There's all sorts of activity that's happened, not only paranormal, cryptid activity, bright lights in the sky, and other sorts of things that people have reported. And from being here already, people are very nice, and you can really get a feel for the fact that they have been through some things and they understand what's going on. Doesn't mean they're always necessarily willing or wanting to talk about it, but we've been welcomed with open arms, and we're hoping that that will continue throughout the rest of our journey.
In the heart of Kecksburg, locals share stories of the UFO event that changed their town's history forever.
Yeah, so I'm here with Mark at the Kecksburg Monument, and he's got some information, some stories to tell.
Just from what my wife had told me, that her grandmother was in the house, looked out the kitchen window and saw something, like it just was so bright she couldn't believe it. And because it was like low, it was like right above the tree line over there beyond those cars. The kitchen window faces that tree line, so it was like a blinding light in the house. And shortly thereafter, they showed up, the people from the government or army, I don't know who they were, showed up at the front door and wanted to know if she had written anything down or who she was talking to, what the conversation was. I mean, if they knew you were talking to somebody and they showed up at your house, then they obviously know what the conversation was about. These conversations went on for a few days from what I understand, and they showed up at the house and pretty much cease and desist, stop talking about it. Wow. Pretty much, or else. And it was common that people were threatened that if they didn't keep quiet about it, more or less it would be dealt with. Mm-hmm. As far as threats go, I'm not certain, but I know that people wrote stuff down, people had pictures, and if their homes were searched, stuff was confiscated. It was a big, what I call a big dark secret.
Yeah.
At the time. But also they actually brought it. It was when they put it on the back of the flatbed. It came right past our house, and that's when they drove down here back behind the building.
My name is Lauren Murray. I'm with TheMomentImaging. With Daniel James, we're documenting this little trip here in beautiful Kecksburg. So with TheMomentImaging, my passion really lies with the video production side of things, and I'm so excited to get the opportunity to come out here and document this trip with like the monster hunting, like the cryptid hunting. We don't know what we're going to run into, but we're just excited to be out here in the energy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're out here on Meteor Road, appropriately named because this is the crash site of the 1965 Kecksburg UFO event. We are taking out our little drone in hopes to get a bird's eye view of the area and the crash site.
My name is Garrett Jagaman of Celestial Oddities Radio and Celestial Oddities Paraseekers Paranormal Group, and we are in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania today to explore as friends and as fellow researchers into the world of cryptozoology and paranormal. Very excited as this is a little different than my normal realm of research and investigation, mostly on the ghost and paranormal side. Tonight I get to join my friends in this lovely area, in this lovely forest, for a night of research to try to see if we can connect and talk with the beings and the energies of this area, and ultimately just having a great, memorable night amongst ourselves.
Just seeing if I hear anything.
What is it?
Spirit box. So it uses white noise of static over top of radio stations in a rapid succession, and it flies through roughly 3 to 4 stations per second. And it gives off sound pieces and fragments over top of the static, and it's assumed or believed that spirits can communicate using fragments of voice in the white static to transmit themselves through. There's a lot of skepticism on this. There's a lot of people who believe it. I'm kind of in between both. I don't believe everything I hear is automatically a voice of a spirit answering me, but have I had absolutely amazing communication of it answering specific questions? Yes. So.
And what's it called again?
Ghost box or spirit box.
Like many small towns, Chestnut Ridge is also rich in paranormal activity. Many locals have reported shadow people, otherworldly voices, and strange visions.
Turn the spirit box on, and while that is on, I've been sitting listening, and normally you can hear maybe voices. It's getting no radio frequency whatsoever, but I am getting some strange sounds.
So what you're seeing here is a clip that I had taken. Dan, Lauren, and Caroline had gone up the road to do some aerial nighttime shots. The sun was starting to set. We were running out of time, so they went on ahead. I stayed behind. And to kill time, I pulled out my spirit box that I normally use for paranormal investigations as a way to communicate with entities and spirits. I've never tried to use it in any other type of manner with cryptids or with aliens, anything of that nature, but I figured why not? I have some time to kill, so let's give it a go. To my surprise, right after turning it on, I started picking up a sound that I have personally never heard in all of the times of using the spirit box, which I have used quite advantageously, over the years, hundreds of hours, hundreds of locations, and have never heard what sounded to be like a digital Morse code. But that is exactly what I was receiving. Over and over again, the same set of codes playing out loud. I even used the Bluetooth to tune it into my car and listen to it even louder, and sure enough, I could hear it there as well. When I tried to capture it on film, though, where it really gets strange, you cannot hear it on the video. Just as this was wrapping up, Dan, Lauren, and Caroline pulled back in. They were able to physically hear it as well, but we were not able to capture it on film.
We're out here at Keystone Park right now, about 2 hours into hiking. It's about 11:30 at night. We're just getting a feel of the woods, feel of the energy here. I'm gonna try to make communication.
There have been cryptid sightings all over the world. Many remain unexplained. In this journey of discovering the unknown, may we also discover more about ourselves.
you.